Hey movie lovers, welcome back to the Movie Hunter. Today, we're stepping back almost a century to 1927 for a deep dive into Metropolis. Fritz Lang's groundbreaking silent sci-fi masterpiece. This German expressionist film isn't just a movie, it's a cultural monument that shaped cinema as we know it, from its jaw-dropping visuals to its haunting themes. Let's hunt down what makes Metropolis a timeless classic and why it still matters in 2025. Grab your popcorn, because this is a big one. First, let's set the stage. Metropolis hit theaters in 1927, directed by Fritz Lang and written by his then-wife Thea von Harbu, based on her novel of the same name. Made during Germany's Weimar Republic, a time of wild creativity and social tension, it's set in a futuristic dystopia where the wealthy elite live in glittering skyscrapers, while workers slave away underground. The story follows Freider, played by Gustav Frillich, the privileged son of the city's master, Joe Fredersen. Portrayed by Alfred Abel, Freder's life of luxury gets flipped when he meets Maria, a saintly worker advocate played by Brigitte Helm, who's rallying the oppressed to fight for a better future. The plot kicks off with Freider frolicking in the eternal gardens, think paradise for the rich. When Maria bursts in with a group of workers' kids, calling them his brothers, she's quickly ushered out, but Freider's smitten and horrified. He follows her underground and sees the brutal reality. Workers toiling like robots, operating massive machines that keep Metropolis running. One explodes, killing dozens, and Freider, shaken, he has a vision of the machine as Moloch, a biblical monster devouring its victims. He runs to his dad Joe, who's this cold, calculating overlord in a towering office. But Joe brushes him off. Enter Rotwang, a mad scientist played by Rudolf Kleinrog, who's got a grudge against Joe over a woman named Heljo's late wife and Freider's mom. Rotwang's created a robot, the Maschinen Shore. Machine Human 2 replaced human workers, but Joe wants to use it to sabotage Maria's influence. Things get wild from there. Rotwang kidnaps Maria and transforms the robot into her double, called Maria in the credits, but often dubbed False Maria. This evil doppelganger incites chaos, stirring the workers into a violent revolt while seducing the elite. With a provocative dance at a high society club, meanwhile, Freider teams up with Maria's ally Josaphat to rescue the real Maria from Rotwang's creepy house. The workers, misled by false Maria, destroy the machines, flooding the underground city and nearly drowning their own kids. Real Maria, with Freider's help, saves them just in time. The climax sees the workers burn false Maria at the stake reveal her robotic insides, while Freider battles Rotwang on a cathedral roof. Rotwang falls to his death, and Freider fulfills Maria's prophecy as the heart, mediating between the hands, the workers, and the head, Joe, bringing peace to Metropolis. Now, let's unpack the themes, because Metropolis is loaded with them. At its core, it's a class struggle allegory. Reflecting the Weimar era's tensions after World War I, the workers' drudgery mirrors the real-life exploitation of the time, while the elite's decadence critiques unchecked capitalism. Film academics often point to Marxist influences. One critic notes the line, "The hands that built the Tower of Babel knew nothing of the dream of the head that conceived it." But the film's not just political, it's spiritual. Maria's a Christ-like figure, preaching hope, while false Maria's a whore of Babylon, embodying sin with her 7 deadly sins vision. The cathedral, the heart motif, even the city's name Metropolis means mother city, all tie into this idea of reconciling opposites: labor and capital, faith and science, human and machine. Asterisk visually, Metropolis is a stunner, even by today's standards. Lang worked with cinematographer Karl Freund and art directors like Otto Hunt to craft a city that's both awe-inspiring and oppressive. The towering skyscrapers, inspired by Lang's 1924 trip to New York, contrast with the underground's brutalist machines. The special effects, like the Schuftan process, using mirrors to blend miniatures with live action, were groundbreaking. Rotwang's lab, with its sparking rings and bubbling tubes, birthed the mad scientist trope we see everywhere from Frankenstein to Batman. And that robot, the Maschinen, or Maria, is iconic. Her sleek, metallic design influenced everything from C-3PO in Star Wars to the replicants in Blade Runner. Movie experts often call her the first sci-fi robot on screen. Production-wise, Metropolis was a beast. Filmed over 17 months in 1925-26 at Babelsberg Studio, it cost over 5 million Reichsmarks, about 21 million euros today. That made it the most expensive film of its time. Lang pushed his crew hard. Brigitte Helm, who played both Maria and False Maria, had to endure grueling shoots, like standing in a wooden shell for the robot transformation scene. The flooding sequence used 500 kids and real water, nearly drowning some extras. Lang's perfectionism paid off, but it came at a cost. The studio nearly went bankrupt, and the original 153-minute cut was slashed for international release. Historians note Lang's frustration. He once said, "They slashed my best film so cruelly, I dare not see it." A 2010 restoration brought back most of the lost footage, giving us a 148-minute version that's the closest to Lang's vision. So, how did it land back then? Mixed, honestly. Critics loved the visuals but called the story simplistic. H.G. Wells famously trashed it as the silliest film, slamming its anti-automation stance and derivative plot. Mordaunt Hall of the New York Times called it a technical marvel. With Feet of Clay praising the visuals but finding the story flat, audiences were split too. It flopped hard, nearly bankrupting the studio. But over time, its reputation soared. By 2025, it's a UNESCO Memory of the World treasure, with critics giving it a near-perfect score. Because it's a visionary piece of art, it predicted tech dystopias. Those machines and robots feel scarily real now, and its class commentary still hits capitalism's divides, haven't gone anywhere. Plus, it's a cultural touchstone. Madame Express Yourself video and Queen's Radio Gaga owe it a nod. Let's dig into some symbolism, because Metropolis is layered. The city itself is a character. Its vertical split mirrors the class divide, with the elite literally above the workers. The machine human, or False Maria, is a warning about tech gone wrong. She's AI before AI was a thing, a tool of control that backfires. Rotwang's house, with its pentagram and alchemical vibes, ties science to the occult, showing how progress can be a double-edged sword, and that Moloch vision, it's straight out of the Bible, a god demanding human sacrifice, just like the machines demand the workers' lives. Lang's use of German expressionism distorted sets, stark lighting amps up the emotional stakes, making every frame feel like a nightmare you can't look away from. But it's not perfect. The pacing drags in spot-silent films lean hard on intertitles, and some scenes, like the workers' revolt, feel repetitive. The characters can be archetypes: Frieder's, the naive hero; Joe's, the evil boss; Maria's, the pure savior; and the politics are messy. Von Harbu later joined the Nazi Party, which taints the film's idealism. Some film academics see fascist undertones in its great leader Fix, though Lang, who is half Jewish and fled Germany in 1933, rejected that. Historians also note that even Adolf Hitler loved the film, though one critic quipped he might have missed the point. Still, Metropolis's heart is in its warning. Unchecked power, whether tech or human, leads to chaos. That's Metropolis, 1927. Hunter's a sci-fi epic that's as stunning as it is haunting. It's a must-watch for its visuals, its warnings, and its place in film history. Have you seen it? Or are you adding it to your list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you loved this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. We've got more cinematic hunts coming your way. This is the Movie Hunter, signing off. Keep dreaming in black and white.